to the Golden State Warriors News Today channel. Take the opportunity to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go to today's news.
Warriors news fan update here with another must-see analysis for you. Imagine leaving the team where you built your legacy, seeking a new challenge, only to watch everything fall apart quickly. Well, Klay Thompson's season with the Dallas Mavericks has turned into a complete nightmare, and no one feels it more than he does. But how do we get to this point? What went wrong for a team that started with high expectations and is now desperately fighting to stay in the playoff race? And more importantly, what does this mean for Klay's future? When Thompson left the Golden State Warriors to sign with the Mavs, the idea seemed promising. Form a lethal trio with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, take Dallas back to the finals, and maybe even win another ring. On paper, perfect. In reality, a complete disaster. Even Klay's father, Michael Thompson, opened up in an interview with ESPN Los Angeles and revealed that this experience in Dallas is far from what his son expected. According to Michael, Klay truly believed the Mavericks had everything needed to compete for a championship. But reality hit hard, and it all started with a bombshell, the unexpected departure of Luka Doncic. The Mavs front office shocked the NBA by trading Doncic in a controversial decision. The plan was to strengthen the defense and add more depth to the roster, but without their main star, Dallas lost its identity and plummeted in the standings. And it didn't stop there. The downward spiral continued with a wave of injuries. Anthony Davis, signed to be the game-changer, barely stepped on the court before suffering a serious injury. Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively also missed several games, dismantling the interior defense. And the final blow came when Kyrie Irving also landed in the medical department, leaving Klay practically alone to carry the team. The result? Dallas dropped in the standings and now faces a real risk of missing the playoffs. Michael Thompson was blunt. If this team loses 10 games in a row, it'll be the biggest story in the NBA. But is there any chance of salvation? Well, if the injured players return in time, the Mavs can at least fight for a play-in spot and try to surprise in the playoffs. But without Kyrie, forget it. And here's a point few are talking about: Klay Thompson's future in Dallas. Sources close to the player say he is deeply frustrated with the situation. The internal atmosphere isn't great, and rumors have already started circulating. Klay might try to force his way out before the season ends. The problem? His contract isn't cheap, and with his underwhelming performance, finding a new destination might be harder than he thinks. And there's more. If Dallas fails to turn things around, the franchise might opt for a full rebuild. That means no one on the roster is safe, not Klay, not Jason Kidd, whose future as head coach is also in jeopardy. But what about the Warriors? Steve Kerr's team is at a crucial moment, and there is a consensus that the defense needs improvement to truly compete in the NBA. Among the names being considered, one is gaining traction behind the scenes: Precious Achiuwa from the New York Knicks. Achiuwa may not be a traditional center in terms of height, but he makes up for it with his athletic explosiveness, strength, and defensive IQ. His physical and aggressive style is reminiscent of Draymond Green, something the Warriors highly value. But is he the missing piece to fix the defensive struggles? The big question: should the Warriors trade Tracy Jackson Davis for Achiuwa? Jackson Davis quickly won over fans with his presence in the paint and consistent defense, but some analysts believe that Achiuwa, with 6 years of NBA experience, could be a significant upgrade. Sources indicate that Steve Kerr likes Achiuwa's game and sees him as an important defensive fit to address the team's weaknesses. Moreover, rumors suggest that the Warriors might attempt a bigger package with the Knicks, possibly involving Mitchell Robinson, which could transform the team's defense. Now, the decision is in the Warriors' hands. Take a risk and bring in an impactful defensive reinforcement, or continue developing Tracy Jackson Davis as a long-term piece. And what do you think? Would Achiuwa be a good addition to the Warriors roster? Leave your opinion in the comments, and don't forget, if you enjoyed this analysis and want more content like this, subscribe to the channel Warriors News Fan Update and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. But hold on, there's still more movement happening behind the scenes. Besides the potential arrival of Precious Achiuwa, the Warriors might be looking at other names to bolster the roster. With some players aging and the need to renew the defense, league sources indicate that the franchise is not ruling out a bold move before the trade deadline. And what if I told you that Golden State might surprise everyone with an unexpected trade? Some speculation suggests that Mitchell Robinson from the Knicks could be part of this deal alongside Achiuwa, offering the Warriors an elite rim protector and a dominant rebounder, something the team has lacked for years. But a trade of this magnitude will require giving up key assets, and that's where the doubts arise. Would it be worth sacrificing Tracy Jackson-Davis and possibly more players to acquire Kyle and Robinson? The truth is, at the moment, the Warriors are in limbo, still competing but lacking the solidity to truly contend for a title. The team has been inconsistent and has shown defensive vulnerabilities that are concerning. And Steve Kerr knows that without reinforcements, the path to the playoffs will be extremely difficult. Speaking of the future, here's a question Warriors fans can't stop thinking about. Backhand index pointing right, is there any chance Klay Thompson returns to the Warriors? Well, never say never. With the chaos in Dallas and rumors of his dissatisfaction, a potential Klay exit cannot be ruled out. But the bigger issue is fit. Would the Warriors system still accommodate Klay in the same role as before? And more than that, would the front office be willing to invest in bringing the veteran back? Regardless, one thing is clear. The Warriors need to make quick and smart decisions because the competition in the Western Conference is fierce. Now I want to hear from you. What should the Warriors do? White heavy checkmark go for a trade to strengthen the defense? White heavy checkmark give Klay Thompson another shot? White heavy checkmark trust the current roster and focus on developing young players? Drop your comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel Warriors News Fan Update and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates on the team. And if you want to know more about the Warriors' next moves in the market, check out this other video right here. You won't want to miss this discussion. As a Warriors fan, I see this situation with a mix of nostalgia and pragmatism. The chaos Klay Thompson is experiencing in Dallas is sad to watch, especially for someone who was a fundamental piece in 4 Golden State Warriors championships. But being realistic, Klay's time in the Bay Area really seems to be in the past. If he returned now, what would his role be? In Steve Kerr's system, the Warriors are already trying to give more space to young players like Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody. Plus, Stephen Curry and Draymond Green are still the pillars, meaning Klay would have to accept a very different role from his golden era. Would he be okay with that? As for the potential trade for Precious Achiuwa and Mitchell Robinson, I'd like to see the Warriors strengthen the frontcourt, but trading Tracy Jackson-Davis might not be the best move. My opinion as a fan? White heavy checkmark Klay Thompson is an icon, but his Warriors era is over. White heavy checkmark if there's a trade, we need defense without sacrificing young talent. White heavy checkmark the team must decide quickly whether to compete now or prepare for a rebuild. Now it's your turn, Warriors fans. What do you think the team should do? Drop your opinion in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to Warriors News Fan Update for all the latest news on the team.